Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy Jack here at the Irish Hotspur, and this is going to be your predicted lineup for Tottenham's home match against Leicester this Premier League weekend. But everybody, before you get into it, do give me your score predictions for this one. Give me your predicted lineup for Spurs, and do smash that like button, everybody. But let's get straight into it. We're going to start with Spurs' predicted lineup, as we know, but we also like to talk about Leicester's as well, something kind of a bit unique about this channel, you could say. But first, with Spurs is not a big surprise here. It is going to be Hugo Lloris in goals. He's been a bit questionable, I must say, kind of in possession. Hasn't really been very convincing, but I don't know. I think it's not really something I really blame him too much for, because he's kind of that generation of keepers where you haven't really been taught, to be more the progressive kind of, good with your feet sort of keepers. He's of that generation where they were just being told to be world-class stop keepers and just be kind of no-nonsense kind of type. And I think he's exceptional still to this day at that. He did save us, in fact, against Sporting with that amazing run by a few different players. I think Marcus Edwards being one of them. But Lloris, certainly a good keeper at shot stopping, but has been a bit questionable with his feet. Then again, though, I don't think Fraser Forster is much better, so we are going to continue with Lloris, and he's still our captain and has still been an absolute class player for us, I think, still this season, but maybe still a few questionable performances. Christian Romero is going to go into the team, I think undoubtedly alongside Eric Dyer, and then Clement Longley I'm going to go for with this one. Ben Davies perhaps is maybe unfairly left out after that 2-0 defeat to Sporting. You could say fairly left out. I'm not really sure how you really lean on Ben Davies, but when you look at it, it was probably, I don't know, it's just Clement Longley. Maybe with his performances so far, we've been a lot more convincing with him in the team than with Ben Davies. Some of these more kind of questioning or kind of unconvincing performances have been with Ben Davies in the side, and that might be a bit unfair to include him or to sort of kind of paint him with that brush that he's been responsible for it. But at the same time, I think some of our better performances recently have come with Clement Longley in the team. So we are going to go with Longley, and then we're going to go for the wingbacks of Perisic as well as Sessegnon. Emerson was brought up in the press conferences with Antonio Conte. Quite interestingly, Conte did defend Emerson and kind of validated his sort of decisions to continue to pick Emerson, but he did sort of hint at perhaps maybe Perisic being able to play at right wing back. And then he did also say as well that Sessegnon might be a bit unlucky to maybe not get as many games as he probably could have or could be getting. And so I could actually see perhaps a combination of two left wing backs where we have Perisic at right wing back and then we have Sessegnon at left wing back. Could be an interesting combination. Could be something that Conte could go with for the rest of the campaign until we reach the World Cup. Let me know, everybody. We'll see if it works. But when it goes to the midfield, we're going to have Højbjerg as well as Bentancur holding it down in the midfield. We probably want to see some rotation there, I understand, but it seems like with how he questioned maybe Basuma's tactical sort of, I don't know, tactical knowledge of his system or tactical knowledge of his tactics. I don't know, that was really redundant. Sorry, everybody. But Basuma, basically, he doesn't have full faith in yet by the looks of things, and perhaps those center mid positions need to be really well versed in Conte's kind of tactics as well as how he wants them to play. So perhaps Basuma isn't there yet. He's only going to use him in certain games. I think this wouldn't be a bad game to use Basuma in, but then again, Conte probably will start with Højbjerg and Bentancur, perhaps rotate one of them out for the likes of Skip and Basuma. We will probably see, I think, Skip come into the game in this one. I think you could make a definite bet on that. But we're going to go with Dejan Kulusevski coming into the team alongside Richarlison, and we have then left out everybody Sonny for this predicted lineup. Big call here, I must say, made by myself, leaving out Sonny for this one, but I feel like he did hint at it, Antonio Conte. I wouldn't be surprised if he kept Sonny in it, and I really wouldn't be too fussed about it either. I think Sonny, those goals are going to come at any stage. I could see them coming against Leicester at home easily, and I'm really not too worried even if Sonny were in the team and he weren't, let's say, playing too well. I think we'll still win or at least be able to play comfortably. I think Sonny's actually been improving on a lot of his performances recently, so he's probably been a bit unfairly treated. If you also look at his underlying numbers, Sonny has been looking actually quite good with his underlying numbers despite not having a goal yet. But Richie, I think, goes into the team. His form for the most part has been undroppable, and then Kulusevski for the most part, I feel like his form has been undroppable. So I hope Antonio Conte goes with maybe some players that, like he said even in his own press conference, are perhaps a bit unlucky maybe not to get as many minutes as they did. But everybody, let me know what you think of this predicted lineup. Do give me your predicted lineup and your score predictions in those comments down below. Do hit that like button as well. But we're going to go on to Leicester's predicted lineup. Again, something that's a bit unique about this channel, and I must say, very hard to do Leicester's predicted lineup because we're talking about a manager that wants to get sacked and also a manager that has no idea what his best 11 is here. So it's going to be very tough. But I've gone with a 4-5-1. Danny Ward in goal here with James Justin playing right back, Johnny Evans at center back, Daniel Marte at center back as well, joining him. And then left back is going to be that new, I think, Dutch player that they've signed, Wout Faes, maybe is his name. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. But they've gone with a 4-5-1 on a few occasions this season. They, of course, have done a 3 in the back in the past. But if they were to do in the 3 in the back, I think that means he would have to either play Soyuncu or maybe play Ndidi or perhaps Castagna in the back line. I don't think he has faith in really any of those players as that extra third center back in the back line by the looks of things. Rodgers does prefer Amarte as well as Johnny Evans, so I think they might go with this 4-5-1. Also, maybe makes sense considering that a lot of teams do kind of like to pack the midfield against Spurs and do like to kind of overload us in there and make it very compact, so 4-5-1 could make sense in some regard. And speaking of which, then, you know, that midfield is going to be Wilfred Ndidi, Tielemans here, and then Keenan Dewsbury Hall or whatever his name is. But a decent midfielder. I think Dewsbury Hall is a good ball carrier. Tielemans a very good playmaker in there. And then Ndidi a very good ball winner. Harvey Barnes as a left mid. And then James Maddison as a right mid who does like to drop into that sort of midfield and kind of take a variety of positions, you could say. And then up top, they're going to go with Jamie Vardy, I think, with this one. I know Kelechi Iheanacho and Patson Daka have played against us before. I think that's probably not surprising if you were to go with that again. Even they did have some success as the front two, and I think that would actually be Rodgers' better choice, if you ask me, if he were to go for a front two of Iheanacho and Daka. I think it shows that it works. They have good chemistry together, the way that they play. But Jamie Vardy, they seem to use against the top six. Doesn't really look like Rodgers really cares about his team or really knows what his best 11 is or really even cares about his performances. He almost looks like he's kind of wanting the sack at this stage. So, I guess I've gone for a 4-5-1. Very hard to predict Leicester's one because they haven't shown any sort of consistency whatsoever. But let me know what you think of this predicted lineup, everybody. Let me know what you think of Leicester's. Let me know what you think of Spurs. Do give me those score predictions. Do give me your predicted lineup. Do let me know if anything I left out that I probably should have mentioned. Hit that like button on your way out, everybody. But as always, come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust, and I will be seeing ya.